What's up, friends? Flake is here, and I thought, you know what? I am so bad at making predictions about this kind of nonsense. These Gwent Master Divination Challenge. Flake, who did you choose to win? What do you think's going to happen? You are a caster. You should know everything, you idiot. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Well, I figured why not do it this way? I was going to do it privately, but I figured, hey, if you guys want to go down with the ship, I'm driving. Let's go. So we're going to do the Divination Challenge here right now in front of you guys. This lineup is fairly stacked. I have been doing Gwent Masters tournaments since season 1. I think I was talking with like Burja and Repek and whatnot during rehearsals and saying, I'm like, with Shinmiri as well. And I was saying, I'm like, how many of these have I done? Because the first tournament I was involved with was Challenger 4 in year 1. And then I missed 2 while I was in the hospital last year. So how many have I been a part of? I think I've been a part of about like 10 maybe tournaments, 10 or 12. I don't know in general, but when I look at the lineups, there have been some forgettable lineups. I don't mean to say forgettable like the people are bad. I'm just saying that Masters at the end of the year is usually like the nuts when it comes to these kinds of things. So making the prediction, hey, it's hard to go wrong, but we're going to go through with this either way. I'm going to give absolutely no. I'm not gonna allude to any deck lists. I have the deck lists. I don't know if the players have the deck lists yet or whatnot. I think they probably do. I don't know if they're printed, but I'm gonna go with what I know. And we're gonna go through here. All right. So first up, Cams versus Big Kukuruzina, the big corny boy himself. Cams is probably one of the best players out there, and I have to go with Cams to win. I'm going with Cams to win because I'm going to also decide how many games he loses as well. Don't get me wrong. But I've looked at the lineups, and without giving too much away, I think Cams is in the right mindset in terms of how to tech and how to... Like, basically what I'm saying is that Cams has anticipated the meta the best and has also decided how to properly exploit it. I think that when it comes down to it, Cams has... quite the lineup. But we have seen how this has happened in the past before. We've seen in the past players like Freddy Babes who has properly anticipated particular metas, but not necessarily been able to capitalize on them. The decisions were correct, but maybe the execution was improper or whatnot. But I think Cams is on the right track here. I think Cams wins, but I think Cams does drop a game to Big KK, and that's perfectly fine. All right, moving on. Tailbot versus Akela. How do you go against Tailbot? Now, Tailbot and I are kindred spirits. We are linked souls through the ether. When he feels pain, I feel pain. And when he feels pleasure, it's usually because I'm the one giving it to him. That said, Tailbot over Akela, I'm giving this one to Tailbot. However, I do think that Tailbot, having not necessarily played a whole lot of competitive Gwent in a little while, may be a little bit rusty. It's hard to say that Tailbot is rusty, because when is Tailbot ever rusty? Tailbot in a rusty state is probably still leagues better than even the best pros that are out there. Tailbot, in my opinion, is probably one of the top players to have ever played this game, in the top 5 easily, without a question. But is he able to get past Akela, who is also a pretty damn good player? I say yes, and I think that this game is actually going to go to 5, and I think that Tailbot does squeak through, but it's going to be close. So we're going to have an all-Polish semifinal in the top of the bracket here. How about Shaggy versus Lord Triss? And we've seen Shaggy kind of have some issues being able to convert and advance and just kind of get there. He's been so close yet so far. I think Shaggy is one of the best players in the game, obviously, but also somebody who is well prepared. I think that Shaggy is one of the better prepared players out there, able to really dig into the meta and understand what's going on. Also having a really good, I don't want to say support system, but a team that is there to support him and help Shaggy really be prepared. And Lord Triss, again, is one of the most recent winners, obviously, and somebody who is not to be taken lightly. I, however, am going to give this to Lord Triss over Shaggy. I think that Lord Triss is just is just better right now. I think Shaggy is going to be making it very close. This one's going to go down to 5 games, and I think that Shaggy might just lose this one by like literally a point or two, and it's going to be very, very heartbreaking. Last bracket here, last little pairing of the quarterfinals, Payable versus Cybers, the TLG Civil War. Sure, no problem. This is basically what both players didn't want to have happen. I think both players said, as long as we could just kind of avoid each other, we'll be good. But unfortunately, there is going to be some collateral damage right out of the gate here. And, well, what can you say? Payable versus Cybers, these are two players who are exceptional. Cybers is just a ladder demon, just goes through and just shreds. Payable, however, a past champion, one of the best players statistically and, just subjectively, in my opinion, is a top 10 Gwent player of all time. I think Payable is going to get this one done over Cybers. And just to say, Cybers also is somebody who's like, well, I think Payable is just the best player. Like, he's just better than I am, I believe. I think this one's going 3-1 when you know what your opponent's play styles are, when you're practicing together so much. I think that the better player will prevail in in a non-so-stunning fashion. I think Payable is going to make relative short work of Cybers. All right, how about the semifinals then? Well, Cams versus Tailbot. Who is better in this case? It's difficult. The Battle of Poland here in the semifinals. Cams, Tailbot, both legends in their own right. I do feel like this one is going to go to Cams over Tailbot in a 5-game series. This is going to probably be the series of the tournament. I think Cams versus Tailbot is the one that is going to have the most resounding effect on people's memories when they're looking back at this tournament. It's going to be pivotal. I don't know if it's just going to come down to a mistake, a missed order, a point lost here or there. I do believe that Cams takes it over Tailbot, which is interesting because I feel like both players are going to come in with quite spicy lists. So I think that Cams is just going to be better than Tailbot in the semifinals. How about in the semifinals here, Lord Triss versus Payable? Lord Triss, very recent winner. Payable, one of the best players in the world. Again, this one is a coin flip. I think that there's a little bit of recency bias on my side saying that Lord Triss is going to be Payable, but I cannot state how good Payable is in the game. I am going to give this one to Payable, but I think Lord Triss makes this one exceptionally interesting. It's going to be a fascinating match to watch as both players are at the top of their game. Lord Triss, the most recent winner. So we're going to give this one to Payable. Ultimately, Cams versus Payable, I think, is almost a dream matchup. I don't know how I can get a better final to cast here. I think that I just get lucky. I love what I do, man, and it shows here. So Cams versus Payable, I think that based on lineups, I think Cams takes this one over Payable 3-1. That's it. I'm going to submit my picks, so you know that we're making it done. Kablam. Your picks was sent. Good luck. You know that it's there. I'm actually going to not share this on Twitter so you guys can kind of follow along and figure it out yourself. But there it is, friends. Much love to you. Thank you so much for watching the channel. Don't forget, watch Gwent Challenger. Watch Gwent Masters tomorrow. Depends on when you're watching this, because right now it's 4:49 p.m. on December 3rd. Love you. Mean it. Don't forget, you're not losing if you're learning, so keep shuffling those cards. Play. Be kind to one another. Catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.